Martinsville Speedway. Sunday morning, cold out there, 40 degrees, light rain, feels like snow to me. This is a day Jimmie Johnson better show something. Been sort of an off season for him so far. Doesn't look like championship material right now. In Texas this week, coming up, I don't think that's going to be good for the Rick Hendrick bunch. Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, maybe Dale Earnhardt might be able to do something down there, but generally, Texas is a Jack Roush track. Martinsville is not a Jack Roush track. This is a Rick Hendrick track. I'm looking at Jeff Gordon today. This looks like a Jeff Gordon Sunday. He's hot, got a fast car, and he's pumped up. And it looks like he's trying to take a leadership role, a new leadership role in this sport. Perhaps after Tony Stewart's bad cop deal at Atlanta over tires, Jeff Gordon may be taking the good cop approach. The good news for NASCAR right now, TV ratings are up on Sundays. The Cup ratings are up just a little bit, enough to be positive. The bad side, Saturday's nationwide ratings down. And with the IndyCar world united again, finally, there might be some worries in Daytona. The Busch Series, now the Nationwide Series, has been the number 2 motorsports series in the United States for several years. Since the demise of the IndyCar world, now NASCAR might have some competition. Michael Waltrip's finally fessed up on that sway bar issue that Jack Roush was complaining about so vigorously on Friday. He says it was inadvertently found. He says he gave it back. Says it's no big deal. Toyota says it's no big deal. Jack says it is a big deal. But then Jack apparently didn't realize that he'd lost one of his valve springs, an engine valve spring off Carl Edwards' winning car at California. The Toyota finally returned a month later. This week, after Jack made such a big stink out of the sway bar issue. I asked Jack about the engine valve spring. Said he didn't know anything about it. Now, engine valve springs, they're pretty important, pretty high-tech. Probably a lot more high-tech than sway bars. Robin Pemberton, NASCAR's boss in the garage area, says if you want to keep your stuff from floating around to somebody else's team, you better keep a close eye on it. Inventory control, that's what Jack should be doing. Another issue we'd like to look at this spring, all those open-wheel guys that came over to NASCAR the last year or so. Juan Pablo Montoya, Dario Franchitti, Patrick Carpentier, Sam Hornish. How are they doing? Not so well. Juan Pablo was hot when he showed up. Won Sonoma last summer. Lately, no spark, no fire. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do something at Texas, but he hasn't shown much so far. About a 15th to 20th place car, not bad, but not great. Maybe Chip Ganassi needs to get off the stick and do some stuff over there. His teams still haven't shown much spark. Last couple of years. Dodge. Hey, Ryan Newman won Daytona. I haven't seen much out of Dodge since then. In fact, Newman's win at Daytona was the first win for Dodge since last August when Kurt Busch won Michigan. Maybe Dodge does have just a one-trick pony. Maybe Dodge needs to find some more horsepower. Maybe Dodge needs to get things going. Ford has things going. It's a Jack Roush year. I'm sure Rick Hendrick's going to come back. And a very interesting story, Richard Childress. 1-2-3 at Bristol. Won Nashville with Scott Wimmer. Richard might have found something. Might have found something in Mongolia. He was over there hunting the last couple of days. Might be back here today, Martinsville, to see what his guys can do. We know Jeff Burton can win. He won Bristol. We know that Kevin Harvick runs well here and Texas and Bristol. Clint Boyer, I think he's the secret weapon for Richard Childress right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Clint Boyer winning a race in the next couple of weeks. Maybe here at Martinsville. It's not been a great track for him. He's worked on his brakes. Martinsville's brakes, you got to have them. It's a 4-hour deal, and if you lose brakes halfway through, your left foot gets pretty worn out. And pit road at Martinsville, always scary. Really tight. If they rebuild this track, like I think they probably ought to, take some engineers from Bruton Smith's operation and come over here and lay out a better layout, they ought to do something about pit road. Very tight, very dangerous. That's why winning the pole is so important, which is why Jeff Gordon has a leg up on a lot of guys here. If you didn't qualify well here, you probably won't do well because you'll be trapped on pit road. Guys roll tires out in front of you. They play lots of tricks here. You have a lot of trouble getting up and down pit road, just getting into pit road, getting off of pit road. it's a tough place to have to play catch-up. So that's what we're looking for here Sunday. Martinsville. See what Richard Chotis can do. See if Jimmie Johnson can get back on track. See if Jeff Gordon can live up to the favorites role. See if any of these IndyCar guys, these open wheel guys, these Formula One guys can show any spunk at all. And see what Jack Roush can do for an encore. He's made a lot of headlines, won a lot of races already this year. Never won much at Martinsville. Maybe today, maybe today. Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal, journalnow.com. And it's cold, and it might snow, and I'm going to sit here, drink a cup of coffee for a while, till they open the track and we get down to business.